Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
This story is sponsored by Little River Medical Center. Well, good morning. Today I am at Little River Medical Center and I'm joined by Catherine Lane. How are you, Catherine?
I'm doing so well. It's great to have you here.
Well, thank you so much. We're just going to be talking about everything that you guys offer and what you do for the community.
Well, there's so much going on at Little River Medical Center, but I have to start with our updated mission. We're really all about changing lives and serving our communities. And so we do that by providing quality, compassionate, and affordable care for all of our community members.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Right.
You have a lot of locations too.
We do. So we've been around for about 45 years now, so since that time we have expanded and grown right alongside our community. We've seen so much expansion in the area and we've followed suit with our location expansion. So we started out at Little River, our flagship site that we're at today, and we're now in Carolina Forest. We have two locations actually in Myrtle Beach, one on North Kings Highway, one on Joe White Avenue, and one in Loris. We also have our South Strand location on Holmestown Road. Unfortunately, at the moment, on September 1st, it experienced some water and smoke damage from an adjacent business's fire. So we are temporarily closed there for the moment, but we hope to have an updated timeline within the next month or two of our reopening at that site.
And so people can also stay updated on your website and social media pages
Absolutely.
to know when that will reopen.
Yes, stay tuned to our Facebook page. That's where you will receive the most timely updates from us on that reopening.
Gotcha. Okay, now walk me through some of the services that you guys provide at your different locations.
Sure, so we're all about primary care. We have behavioral health services as well as dental services, and those are really our key areas of work that we provide our community members. But among all the other services that we provide, we also have certified diabetic educators, we have family planning services, early intervention services such as the HIV testing. We do a lot of outreach in the community around PrEP education as well. We have our Miles for Smiles program where we're in a mixture of 24 elementary and middle schools, as well as 8 Head Start centers throughout the community, which is a really great program. We provide dental services on site at the schools to the children. We also have 3D mammography, which is a recent addition for both our Little River and Carolina Forest locations. So one of the great benefits of being a Little River Medical Center patient is you have access to all those services. If you're interested in becoming one of our patients, please just give us a call. It's as simple as that. We would love to get you in. We also have on-site pharmacy. So at Little River and Carolina Forest, we have on-site pharmacy services. And I'm really excited to share that we are expanding that on-site pharmacy to also include our Loris and our South Strand locations. So over the next few months, so mid-fall, we're expecting those sites to open, but we can provide an updated timeline, of course, for those.
That's exciting.
Yeah, lots
Very
of growth.
convenient.
Yes, very convenient. I do also want to mention that if anyone struggles with transportation issues, we also work with our patients on providing that as well. We also have great community partnerships out in our more rural pockets of the community, such as Green Sea, Loris, as well as Nichols, where we partner with churches and libraries to bring those primary care services there via the mobile unit as well.
That's awesome. I love what you guys do, but tell me, what is your favorite part about being able to work here?
Yeah, well, I think it all goes back to our mission of changing lives and serving our communities, and really having that patient-centered care for our patients, no matter the situation, the circumstance. Before or as soon as someone's walking in the door, we're thinking of ways that we can meet their needs. So we really like to take a whole team approach to addressing healthcare needs and want to be an individual's medical home.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, today we are getting messy. I am at Studio 4319. I'm with Michelle. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing a lot better now that I'm here, if I'm being honest.
Great. Well, you know.
We have had so much fun this afternoon. We have been creating and getting messy, and this is what you do every day.
Every day, all day.
All the time.
It is my favorite thing ever.
Tell me about your job and what you do.
Well, we have, it's an art studio, art playground. We have classes from 18 months all the way up to adult classes, 18 months to 101. We teach Mommy and Me classes. All of our classes are process-based art. So that means that we're not focused on the end result. We're about the process. So even with the kids, they get really stuck on that. It has to be perfect. But when you take that pressure off and say we're just focusing on the process, it takes away that perfectionist feeling and that, you know, it's okay if it doesn't look amazing at the end because everything that happened in the process was so much better.
That's the art.
Yes. Frame Your Beach. So this is a resin. And we used a variety of supplies. We have shells, this is some kind of jewelry string, and then epoxy resin is something that you would normally see that people are doing in molds. They go on the tumbler cups now. These things are epoxy resin. So now that will be permanently frozen in that position on your frame from the resin, because tomorrow it'll be hard as a rock.
And the mermaid cannot swim.
And the mermaid will be right there forever. And then you also made this beautiful coaster with some glitter and your name, and Miguel made this beautiful bowl that he's going to get to put up. And here's some other things that are the more traditional uses for resin in the arting and crafting world, but this is just kind of a next level, really more what I love because it's combining the art with the resin.
This was therapeutic for me,
Very
if
much,
I'm being
absolutely.
honest.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like you probably come across that quite a bit with people
Absolutely.
who come take classes here.
Oh yeah, it is very therapeutic.
Where can people find out more information about your classes?
My website is studio4319.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, and my number is 843-400-3045. We have it all. It's really amazing.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined by Quadre Stuckey. We're talking about beautiful, beautiful artwork with a rich cultural heritage. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. I'm blessed. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me today.
We're going to do a lot of fun stuff, but first I want to get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
I want you to kind of walk me through your creative process when it comes to this.
So when it comes to my creative process with the artwork, I like to visualize what I'm going to do first in my mind, and then I like to, draw it or sketch it on the canvas. And then once I sketch it on the canvas, I like to add that paint to bring it to life.
And you have quite a history.
Yes.
Why did you get into art in the first place?
I would say art is like my God-given talent. It wasn't something I had to try hard with. It was something that would naturally come to me that just kind of flows easy. So I wanted to use that and share my gift with the world.
I would say that when you look at your art, I was taking a look at your portfolio, and a lot of it is so striking.
Yes.
You have such a unique look.
Yes.
How would you describe your art, though?
I mean, I would describe my art as kind of like a mixture between like contemporary pop art and then low country Gullah lifestyle series. That's what I say, because that's our history and rich culture in Charleston, South Carolina, where I'm from. So it's about that Gullah lifestyle, maintaining the culture and the heritage. So I'm just telling the story through my artwork.
Why is that important to you?
I feel like it's important because if you don't tell your own story, somebody else will tell your story and control your narrative. So it's better for you to keep your own history and pass it down to the generations to come, like your grandkids, your great-grandkids, and your children, to let them know where they came from and what you did to make it here where you're at today.
And how does it feel whenever people see your art for the first time?
It feels amazing because, with artwork, it speaks to everybody different. You know what I'm saying? People get happy, people get excited, people get, filled with joy. So I mean, me inside, that's just a good heartwarming feeling that I feel every time that people see it, experience it, and then they just love it and fall in love with it.
And what would you say is the toughest part of the process for you?
The toughest part of the process was, I'd probably say, selling it, because, these are like my kids, and then somebody wants to buy it, you gotta let it go and then not look back. But, at the same time, I could just paint another one.
And speaking of If someone is interested in purchasing your art or taking a look,
Yes.
how can they do that?
Well, they could go online to my website, www.quaddesigns.net, or they could go onto my nonprofit site, www.gullah-Geechee-Family-Foundation.com, purchase the artwork.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Quadre. I
Yes.
appreciate you visiting me today.
Definitely.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
This story is sponsored by Palm Mechanics. Today we are talking about our state tree, the beautiful palmetto, and I'm joined by Matt Dix, the owner of Palm Mechanics. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm ready to learn.
Yes, ma'am.
We got a lot to talk about. Now, I just said that it's our state tree, but you were just telling me that palms aren't actually trees, technically.
That's right. That's right.
Tell me all about this.
They are a monocot, which is a grass fiber-like tissues. They're a little harder to work with than your average hardwood tree.
And you know this because you are actually the expert whenever it comes to palms. You've done a lot of research, you've worked with them for many years now. Tell me about your business and what exactly you do.
Yes, ma'am. We've spent years just really studying these trees, working with them, trying to figure out what they need. We come in and we just inspect the trees, just really kind of figure out where they're at, what they need done. Some trees may need some shucking done. Some trees need the trimming around the top. With palm trees, you really don't want to trim out of the top until the frond is brown. The reason being is these trees recycle the nutrients. So when you see that yellowing into that brown, it's nothing to be alarmed about. It's no reason to run out there and start hacking fronds off of your tree. These trees need those fronds and that nutrients they get from that. Once they have gotten the nutrients from that, that frond will be completely brown and ready to come off. These trees are self-shedding as well. So if it's completely ignored, they'll basically start to throw stuff at you.
Yeah.
Dropping out of the tree, they dry out. So yeah, we're really just trying to dial in and get these trees thriving and doing the best that they can.
Well, you said a little bit, but let's talk about some of the issues that might arise if you do not take care of your palm trees
Well,
that you see all the time.
oh yeah, they make a mess. These berry pods that will come out are basically a palm tree's bloom. They drop all over pool decks, all over the top of your cars, concrete, they'll stain up. The boots falling and shedding off of the bottom can be a hazard walking under. Keep in mind that all of these parts and pieces that are falling off of the tree are because they are dried out. The tree no longer needs them. And with them being dried out, they are now a fire hazard. They can catch on fire extremely easy. So that's something to keep in mind. Not only that, the pests, the birds, the bugs, the snakes, the squirrels, and all the different animals that want to nest in the trees that are neglected and, not properly upkept.
So Matt, we have some examples behind us actually of trees that you actually take care of.
Yes,
And these are some good looking trees. Walk me through what you've done to make them look so pretty.
These trees only need a certain few things to really thrive. And we use a slow release fertilizer that basically feeds the tree for a couple of months at a time versus just putting something out that just instantly gives it a punch. With these palm trees, nothing happens very fast. So the slow release fertilizer we have found works the best to get these trees in a thriving state.
And what would you say is your goal when it comes to Palm Mechanics?
I want to clean up the Palmetto State. It's on our state flag, it's Florida state flag. They're neglected. They're just not many people out there that are focused on palm trees, what they need and what they're doing. We are here to help with just getting them right, and just so people can just sit back and enjoy their little slice of paradise.
All right, so your slogan is, when your palms need a tune-up, call Palm Mechanics. What's that number that our viewers can call?
That's 843-455-4666. 843-445-4456.
Again, that number to call is 843-455-4456. And for more information and before and after photos, scan the QR code to check out Palm Mechanics on Facebook.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.